Hey everyone, this is Big Benedict, Max Payne 3 on Hardcore Difficulty, Chapter 3, Another Day at the Office. So right away we have a pretty tough fight here with a bunch of guys with shotguns, so use your bullet time wisely. And the best advice I could give you is, on this difficulty mode, just take a couple of pot shots. You see how there's enemies on this side, on both sides rather. And a lot of the times I'll be going into a bullet time and then I'll be going right out of a bullet time and then getting nailed in one hit. So, especially in the last video I said that you can get one hit killed by a shotgun at close range. Hell, you can get killed by a shotgun 50 yards away. It's incredible. Anyway, one of the things I wanted to mention was Remedy made the first two Max Paynes, and then this company, Rockstar, bought it. But I'm telling you, I've never played a Grand Theft Auto game. I never intend to. And I don't particularly care for any Grand Theft Auto games or any Rockstar products. But that didn't stop me from buying this game. I was a little trepidatious about buying it because it was Rockstar. But aside from like some of the crazy fonts and the aesthetics, the light effects and the aesthetics, I would say don't even worry about that. Also, the music really kicks ass. It's one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. This room here, we have a subject to interrogate. Don't even bother, though. We're going to have to shoot him. Yeah, so just take him out. And then Passos gets mad. He says, "What are you doing? I'm trying to do business here." So immediately go into cover and just start taking these guys out. Try to get headshots. Yeah, but I don't like Rockstar, but I love this game. It does. I've seen a lot of Grand Theft Auto videos, and it does seem like it is kind of in the same kind of vein as Rockstar games. But this is the most mature game I've ever played. It's the most evocative. It's the most emotionally investing game I've ever played too. And that's rare for a straight up action game, but it does have a lot of story mode. And I wish I could put the subtitles on. I could put them on, but it distracts me while I'm playing. Anyway, watch out for this guy. This is the last little trick that this game pulls before we get another checkpoint over here. So I think I shot him in the groin, and then he got up, or he was about to get up. But don't let any of those kind of surprises sneak up on you. But if it's your first time through the level, how could that not sneak up on you? You know, even if you're replaying the game on hard mode, hardcore from hard, you forget things. Because this game is pretty much, it's all gunfights. I wish it was a little bit more broken up by, you know, some puzzles or stuff, something different, and it is sometimes, but just not enough. But I still consider it an amazing game. Anyway, this fight here, you see the guy to the left with the shotgun? He likes to flank you, so try to take that guy out as a main priority. I took him out before he could sneak over to the left. I was getting shot by him many times, so it was nice to take that guy out. There is a painkiller behind the counter, so make sure to grab that. And I'm going to be going around looking for stuff. And normally I wouldn't keep such explorations in my guide, but I felt to myself I want to talk about this game a little bit more, and I might as well kill a little bit of time. You know, it wasn't that long of explorations. But this chapter was extremely hard for me on hardcore mode, on hard mode, and now on this hardcore run, things are not as hard as they were before. And the reason for that is I was, a virgin playing this game on hard and had no experience with it. And that just goes to show you it's that way with any game. You are going to suck at first, even if it's your genre, like a shooting game. Shooting games not really my genre, although I do enjoy third-person cover-based shooters like this. But anyway, I'm just looking around. Always just check around the environment, unless there's a time restriction that you have to press forward. See, I have 3 painkillers, and I think there's a trophy for smashing those things, but maybe you have to smash several more than I did right there. But it's not too important. I'm not going for a platinum. I'm just trying to go for my trophy. It's actually called Pain in the Ass for getting it. That's what the trophy's going to be called. So I went the wrong way here. So this chapter, it has a lot of enemies throwing projectiles at you in some search situations. This part right here, just I think it instructs you to sprint, and the sprint button for me is X. It might be different for you, but the sprint button is completely useless. I mean, I don't see any tangible difference between running and quote unquote sprinting. He doesn't even move a whit faster. It's ridiculous. I mean, seriously. Anyway, I don't think I took a single hit over here because I was playing the section very smartly and very cautiously. And don't be afraid to use that bullet time. I remarked in the last video that it's like using stasis in Dead Space games, and that's exactly what it is. I mean, it might not be the same, exact mechanic, but it's similar. It's very similar in nature because you're slowing down time. Because when you stasis enemies in Dead Space, you're not stopping time. You're just slowing down time, and that's what we're doing here with this bullet time feature. And again, I'm not the best shot, but I'm going to get through this game no matter what, because I really respect this game and love it. And when I respect and love a game so much, I just keep playing it until I succeed, and I just get better with every death. And that's what you're going to have to do. Notice that painkiller over there. Make sure you grab that. I think a lot of people refer to that as stacking painkillers, which is just trying to succeed in all these fights without having to use a painkiller, and then just keep stacking them on top of one another. The thing about that is, though, it's fine, but you do have to perform very well in the battles. So if you're not getting, if you don't think you're performing too well, just restart. That's all I could say. This guy up here, there's one guy up here. You see him up there? He ran away, but he can't hit you if you don't get too lucky right there. We're going up here to find the sniper. Another painkiller right there. It's really nice. A lot of painkillers in this level. So just go against the wall here, and then I'm going to blind fire in this asshole right there. And then we have one guy hiding behind the sound booth over there, so I'm going to fly on in and take him out. I don't think it was a perfect flight, but when I landed, I sure as hell got him down. Then Passos nicely takes care. That may have been the sniper, actually. Okay, this section here, get behind cover right away. And I believe Passos will kill most of these guys, if not all of them. And then we have a really awkward checkpoint coming up. It's going to be a rather rough edit that I'm going to throw together, just because the nature of some of these checkpoints. So we're at the baseball field, and obviously a money transfer went very wrong. So this is the checkpoint here. It places me higher up in the bleachers than I was, and this part took me quite a while, actually. I wasn't expecting it to. What I like to do, though, is grab that gun right there. It should be there for you. I'm not sure. Maybe an enemy dropped it for me. But we're going to have guys coming through the gate, but they can hit us through the bar. So what I'm doing is I'm crouching, and I'm using the bullet time to take care of all the guys. See how a lot of the times they fall on the ground, but they're not dead. So make sure you move that reticule over their fallen bodies if you suspect that they're not dead. If you don't see that X over their bodies signifying that they're dead. See how those guys shot me up? I was pretty much content to use like maybe one painkiller over here. When I was doing this on hard, I was using like all the painkillers and just being really, really wasteful. But I don't even think I used one painkiller over here. One other issue is, for me anyway, was running out of ammo in this section. So if you get into a situation where you just can't do it, like it's taking you 50 tries, you might as well restart the level, especially if you're not too far into it. So I'm almost at the verge of death. I may have taken a death over here, I'm not sure. So that guy's still alive down there. And then they are going to start throwing grenades, and it's that old Spec Ops the line bullshit with those grenades. But the one difference, yeah, I took a death right there. The one difference about this game is that you can actually shoot the grenades in air, and the best way to do that is to actually activate bullet time, so you could slow down time and be more accurate when you're trying to hit the grenade. I just don't like having projectiles thrown at me if I don't have any projectiles. It's okay if I don't have any at the current time, but if the game this game never gives you like grenades. You never get grenades in this game. You might get a grenade launcher or something I think like that, or a rocket launcher, but you never get grenades. That's the reason I disagree with it. Anyway, there's not going to be any checkpoint, and I believe you have to do a few more things as far as enemies. So it's nice that we cleaned up all those guys. Another thing I never discussed is that you don't have to. All you have to do is walk over the dead bodies to pick up ammunition for your weapons. And a lot of the times it'll say, see how it says the triangle button right there? That is if you want to pick up a different gun than you don't have. But if you're getting like plus, it'll say like plus ammo. That means you're picking up ammunition for an existing gun in your inventory. But a lot of the times, the guns are so similar that I just don't even grab them. And some of these guns also have flashlights, which can be turned off and on with the select button. So here, obviously, you can see how careful I'm being over here. I'm not taking a single chance because that part's very hard, and I know full well that if I die, I'm starting back on that section that I always die on, and it's extremely challenging. So I'm going to spawn these enemies and fall back. What I could have done was done that camera trick where I don't go into cover, but I just inch my way around the cover. But I wasn't sure because sometimes the enemies rush you and sometimes they don't, especially when the enemies are behind doors and you have to like go through the doors. Sometimes they just don't like to play ball. So those two clowns are dead rather. And we're going to be going on to the next section. A couple of sniper sections in this game, but we have some more things to do. I'm going to grab a painkiller up there. See, I got 3 left. Yeah, I took 2. I had to use 2, but fortunately there's 2 up here for me to grab, so I broke even. So we're going to go through this door here, and this part's pretty tough. Take out these guys with your Uzi, or whatever, pretty much whatever you want to. This is a pretty safe piece of cover, although from time to time you'll have an enemy coming up and rushing you. I think this was the take where I had a rusher coming and I meleeed him. It's always really satisfying to get those melee kills because you feel like you're on top of the world. You just feel like a complete badass. You really do. Because you're taking a tremendous risk. You know, like in a Gears of War game or Uncharted or Spec Ops The Line. So a lot of foes over here. Just try not to take too much damage if you can help it. Here we've got a melee attack. And you press R1 to enter the melee combat, and then press R1 again. You could also fail the melees too if you don't do it quickly enough. And then the guy will shoot you. And I think that's an instant killing, an instant death on your part. So I managed to kill all those guys without taking any damage, which was very good for me. So now I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to loot all these bodies. But before I even start to get more bullets and stuff, I'm just going to see what's going on. It looks like we have a couple of guys down on that lower floor. So I'm just inching my way around the cover. And I think this guy was the guy that took me out because I thought that he ran over to the left a little bit more. See, I couldn't account for his actions fully. I don't... No, okay, that guy's killed, but there was another guy who just kind of popped in. I don't know if he popped in or if he was behind the cover the whole time, but I know he did take me down, and it was completely unexpected. Here we go, there's another guy. Ooh, another guy too. That was really close. Whenever you're in a situation like that, just immediately tap the bullet time. You get more bullet time for prolonging battles by just staying alive and doing headshots and just killing people. So it works pretty well. So I made my way over here thinking nothing was going to happen. And then this happens over here. See that? How do you... like? It's like, fuck me. That guy might have just spawned over there. I don't know. He was a really sneaky son of a bitch. And I should have been more cautious. What I should have done was gone down there and hid behind those statues over there. So now I'm very tentatively making my way forward. You have to be tentative in this game. You just cannot bulldoze your way through this game. It's not possible. You need to be very methodical. You need to be aware of all the situations that are going on. You need to have what I would call situational awareness. And sometimes that's tough when so much shit's going on. You know, the human brain can only react so quickly, and we're dealing with a computer that is programmed even faster than our brains are. There we go. That guy's dead, and that signifies that battle's over. That's a tough battle, but at least I've got 6 painkillers now. And I'm actually doing a lot better than I did on my hard run guide or campaign. And again, the thing is, you know, the more you practice, I thought hardcore would be a nightmare. And I can't speak for all the levels because I know there's a lot of challenging sections coming up, but I know that I have the controls down. You know, I know what not to do in this game. I know not to rush blindly around corners. And I would highly recommend this game. Okay, this next section where we have, I think we're going upstairs. I wanted to do a Last of Us guide, but I honestly don't think, I don't feel like playing that game, to be honest. So, okay, yeah, now here's another example. This took me like 30 plus tries when I was doing it on hard, but here it only took me a half a dozen tries. What we have is, you see the guys with the flashlights down there? We have those guys who like to throw grenades. We also have these guys who like to throw grenades. See, you just got to move really quickly out of the way. And normally if the grenade's on another side of cover and you're behind cover, you're completely safe. But if you do see a grenade being launched at you, activate bullet time and then just take it out from the air, and it'll just cancel out that grenade. See, that guy was about to throw a grenade. That son of a whore down there, he was trying to do that. That's exactly what that guy was doing. If you want to rewind that, he was arcing something that he never got to throw because I took him down. Son of a bitch. So pretty much the bullet time is your best friend. I mean, if you're not using bullet time, I guess you don't know what it is, or you're purposely not using it, and that's real. I don't know people who would want to do that. That's like playing Dead Space without using stasis. It's just you're infusing artificial difficulty into the game when you don't have to, and this game is already hard enough to deal with. Because it's not like we have unlimited bullet time. You've got to conserve and moderate your bullet time. So there's an ugly face across that sign right there. Took him down. So hit that guy in the throat. We got a sniper in town. Another one looks like. Oh, this part here, it says you need to run. So this whole time I'm pressing X to sprint. So check this out. This is sprinting in this game. Do you see any tangible difference between this and normally running? I don't. I don't see it when I'm watching this now, and I don't see it when I'm playing the game. But you have to get over here ASAP. Don't linger. As long as you get over here quickly, the guy's not going to one-hit kill you with that sniper rifle. So get the painkiller over here, and then there's going to be 2 guys through those doors. And this is, I think, the only time in this game where the doors work in a convenient way for the player, because when you shoot them, they don't stay open, but they stay open long enough for you to shoot everybody. It's really cool. So just shoot the doors, back off. See, then there's going to be one more ground-based foe down here. In one of the later chapters, you shoot the doors and then they immediately slam back, and it's so inconvenient. And I wish all the doors could be like this. Or, even better, they should just stay open. But that's cool. I did that in my other my other run, and I thought it was really good. But okay, so that situation's taken care of. Now this part here, we're trying to not have Pastos get killed, so take care of that target, and then that final target right there. And then I don't believe you get a checkpoint quite yet. Pastos is getting shot at, and you need to move the right analog stick. So go up here, target that guy right there. There's the bullet time, and then I think we do get a checkpoint up here. This whole time you can't move you're pretty restricted from aiming over here. Actually, no checkpoint, I guess not. It's going to tell you where the guys are coming from, but it's kind of hard sometimes when the pressure's on, and sometimes these guys don't like to go down too easily. So see, I was trying to look for the guy, so he's over here now. And if you're really struggling on this part, just rewind my video and note which way I'm going every single time, like left, right, up, down. Because that can be hard, because your field of vision is really cramped with the scope. You can't see too much outside of that circle. Anyway, I thought Pastos was going to get killed the first time I played this game, but don't worry, I'm not going to ever spoil the game for anyone by revealing a spoiler or anything like that. Also, my guides, I'm always going to talk about the battles. I'm never going to talk about movies or books or current events, none of that shit, because I don't want to hear that shit when I'm watching a guide. I want to know how to beat the game. I want to know how to beat every situation, and that's what I like to watch, and that's what I like to have my viewers be watching when I do a guide. So I'm sure a lot of longtime fans know the way I do guides, but it's very meticulous and it's very relevant. Anyway, this is the last guy you need to kill before the checkpoint. Very easy to kill that guy. But yeah, I love talking strategy because it's interesting. It's the most interesting thing that I'm currently looking at, so I want to talk about it. I don't need to talk about anything else. Okay, this is the final checkpointed area, so get a headshot on that guy. And then what we're going to do on the other guy, never mind the laser sight, it's not going to hit you if you're hugging this wall like I am. And then just take that guy out right there. And see the lasers, I think we're a bit too low for him to hit us. So here I'm once again going to employ that moving around the corner trick without exposing myself, but being able to hit the enemy. So I got to back off the wall a little bit more, lest he raises his gun in that animation right there. So this is blind firing here, and fortunately I didn't get hit. And then we have one more foe here, and remember there's no checkpoint anywhere, so I did manage to stack up quite a bit. See how I went wild right there? That always happens to me when I go into bullet time.
There was only one way up there.
So interacting with this ladder here is nice. You just go up to the ladder. You don't have to press anything.
Believe me, I ain't gonna drag this out.
And then immediately drop into cover. And then we have several guys on the other side of this catwalk up here. And I think I did take a death over here. I think, in fact, I took one death here and then one upstairs on the higher railing. But the Uzi is pretty weak as a weapon, but I would prefer it to a shot. I prefer any weapon that you just can hold the button down and shoot. And then the next chapter is a really cool chapter. Several chapters in this game we're going to be going back in time to the events before all this started happening back in New York. Really awesome. So I just decided to not loot that body. Didn't need it. I know that these are the final kills up here, and since there's no cover, I think the best thing to do up here is just to do the shoot dodge. There may be some cover. No, I honestly don't think there is cover, because last time I tried this on hard, there was nothing. So you're pretty much penalized here for not killing all the guys in the air there. So just. See, ended up with 6 painkillers left. That was good. And then that's the end of the level. All you need to do is just walk forward here, and then we're gonna crash on into the sniper and put a bullet through that guy's throat, which he really deserves. And then the next chapter is going to be that chapter that I told you about. We're going to be going back to New York in a flashback. Really awesome. So there you go. Eat that.